4, 3, 2. Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day. It is the Film Dudes yet again. I was trying to rhyme and then that. It's classic Film Dudes where everything goes out the window the minute we start saying something.
I think Landon was going for what's up, but it sounded like a little monster popped into the show.
Yeah, a little bit. Little tiny bit.
Had to happen. Had to happen.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Classic. Very classic. So we're back. Let's start with going back in time a week when we were just about wrapping up the last episode, and Landon posted a color image from the lighthouse. And I was like, what is that? And then I didn't pay attention to it until after we were done. But for a second there, I was very much terrified there was going to be another live-action Mario movie. But apparently, yeah, Landon, why don't you describe that for our listeners?
Okay. It's Robert Pattinson, star of The Lighthouse. And he's wearing blue overalls with a red shirt. And, what's that hat called?
Like a flat cap?
Is it cap?
Like a classic English paperboy flat cap type thing.
Yeah, so anyways, he's red shirt, red hat, blue overalls. It kind of looks like Mario with the mustache. And it says movie details. The Lighthouse 2019 had to be shot in black and white because Robert Pattinson looked like Mario in color. And it's very true. He did look like Mario when it was in color.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is. Would you say terrifying, Stuart?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, because it's like, oh god, Mario movie? What is this?
I mean, he's.
Did you just moan? What was that noise?
No, that's just not what I was going for. That's like one of those That's what I was going for. Good grief. Your mother listens to these, Stuart.
On occasion.
Okay. Well, just let me know what occasion that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still not a Robert Pattinson person, so that's just like, oh, let's make him Mario from Mario Brothers. It's like, no, thank you. I'll pass. I'll take the terrible Bob Hoskins movie.
For 300, Alex?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, wait, is there a relationship, or am I thinking of the wrong name? There's...
What?
Pattinson?
Bingo.
Is his name Robert...
Pattinson.
What are you asking, Stuart? Finish your question.
Okay, who's the sparkly vampire werewolf?
What?
It's like Patterson, right?
No, Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Yes.
What about
And
it?
the name of the hat is Kango or Congo.
The hat?
Yeah.
What do you call it?
A Kangol hat or a Kangol hat. It's Kangol.
Okay. Hmm. There really need to be a specific name for it? I mean,
Yeah, of course they did.
whatever. Um,
Wait,
so
that was the
Stuart, what was
Robert.
your question?
Hold
Can you
on, that
please
was.
finish your question?
Yes, that was the Robert Pattinson in the lighthouse, as in from Twilight. Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Oh, he
Or
looks
the
a.
emo
Yes.
Batman, Robert Pattinson.
He will never be known for anything other than Twilight.
I mean, would I will say this though, would he rather be known for Twilight or Lost City of Z?
He
I am
was.
going to say probably want to be remembered for Twilight.
Wait. Was he in Lost City of Z?
Yes.
It's not even crediting him.
I thought. What do you
Oh
mean?
no,
It's
there
not
it
like-
is, 2016. Yep.
Okay, I was
There
gonna
he
say
is.
he was in that movie.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Um,
the movie stunk.
it did. Oh, Tenet. He was in Tenet. That was quite good.
Still haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
Did you?
it's definitely a niche movie in terms of, do you have the IQ levels to process what is going on here?
I mean, I'd like to think maybe I could, but
Yeah, a lot
no.
of people were like, this movie made no sense. And I'm like, it made perfect sense. What are you talking about?
I mean, how many people nowadays want a thinking person movie?
I mean, it wasn't really a thinking movie. It was just like a Tarantino style movie, I guess, where it's like
Okay,
cut
but
out of
let's
order.
put let's put it this way. A movie where people are going to have to do a little more thinking than, oh, that person is mad at that person for X reason. That's why they punched that person. That's kind of how it is.
Sure, I guess. Moving swiftly along from that derailed train of thought.
Why was that a derail?
um,
Excuse me. I am insulted, sir.
I'm mostly talking about myself. Anywho, I would like to mention that I have purchased a subscription to the local newspaper, and in today's fine edition of the what to watch section, the tune in section by Kevin McDonough. Don Yeah, McDonough. Anyway, there's a review of House of the Dragon, the latest HBO, not Game of Thrones, but spinoff of it. First of all, before I get into that review, Landon, since you have HBO, have you seen the first episode?
Not yet.
Are you going to see the first episode?
Of course I am.
Well, this review definitely is a real zinger there. Basically, it just says that Game of Thrones was great, especially with Tyrion Lannister. Let's see. Lord Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones made sure somebody on the sidelines might comment on the action from a slightly cynical point of view. However, later on it says nobody watched Game of Thrones for laughs, but its occasional jibes and asides were like spice that helped the challenging banquet go down. The relentless humorlessness of Dragon makes it rather difficult to swallow. So if public castrations, joyless whoremongering, maternity ward mutilations, and turgid dialogue are your cup of mead, by all means keep chasing the dragon. The rest of us will probably leave in search of comic relief. And I'm just like, that is my style of writing right there. That just tells me how truly awful it sounds, and I'm like, oh wow, I kind of predicted that long before this was released.
I mean, the only complaint it had was it didn't really have a sense of humor.
Yeah, but just that like apparently
Yeah, no. Uh,
from the review, I haven't looked up the scene and I probably never will. Um, there is a very strange scene from this review where there's like something much worse than when the red priest or whatever her name was gave birth to the shadow demon thing in regular Game of Thrones. Apparently, there's a jousting related scene that I don't really know what exactly happens, but it sounds like jousting and childbirth are shown at the same time, and I'm sure something goes horribly wrong.
what the?
Yeah, I
What?
have no
Okay,
idea what's.
Landon's gonna have to watch and try and
Well, I
explain it.
am currently in the process of rewatching Game of Thrones to prepare myself for the new
Yes.
set. So right now I'm like in the middle of season 7, and then I figured that should buy me enough time where I can actually like binge through the new series. So
Yeah.
because they're doing it like weekly, and I figured hopefully I'll be done with season 8 by the time that they come out, or by the time they finish the new series, so that way I can just continue on and binge through it. But yeah, I honestly don't think there's anything weird about the hype, or the priestess of light, or whatever you want to call her, giving birth to Stannis Baratheon's like ghost child, for lack of a better term. I mean, at the time, it was like, what the hell's happening? But going back and rewatching it, everything seems pretty mild and very, tame. But maybe that's just because I'm callous to the type of cinema that's happening. But as far as this jousting scene, I could see like like the priestess of light, or whatever she is, like giving birth to like a ghost that's, or whatever you want to call it, with a horse that just completely annihilates the opponent.
I
Who
don't
knows?
think the Priestess of Light is in any way involved. I think it's just a
Well,
actual person and an actual baby. And I'm assuming the worst from that combination there because it's
I
Game of
mean,
Thrones.
I mean, I was trying to like maybe it's like I don't know. Is there like a cross cutting between a birth and a jousting tournament? Like like a Godfather thing,
I think it's more of like the.
or maybe somebody's actually giving birth at a jousting tournament.
I think it's more like the Red Wedding. Um,
Oh golly.
yeah. Yeah.
I
What's
mean,
the- I
yeah.
mean, probably in a month I'll have pure enlightenment on how that happens and what
Yeah.
is going down. But
Yeah. So rewatching Game of Thrones, um, is there? Can you tell if like there's like a downhill slide in the series? Because I mean, I didn't watch the entire Game of Thrones series, so
uh, I don't know. I feel like every season has its perks. I mean, everybody says that the final season is the worst season, and of course, there's the backstory behind that of the guy who wrote it said that he would not finish the series. So yeah, we're not in the final season. Uh, I'm actually reluctant to watch the final season, just purely on the fact that I do agree with the fact that it was absolute garbage.
Well, to
But
interject on why it was garbage, apparently the showrunners, the two guys who were able to successfully predict Jon Snow's origins or whatever, that's apparently how they got the role. Anyway, apparently they left the show to go work on Star Wars.
yeah,
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit that
Oh,
happened
brother.
the last season to go down the toilet. But right now on season 7, I'd have to say it's the best dialogue, the best banter, the best. I would not say like the best cinematography or like the wow factor
Yeah, there's
of the series.
a lot of dark moments. Not in terms of like, oh, something really bad just happened. I mean, like, can we get some extra lights up in here, please?
Yeah, I mean it's all building up to the fact that Jon Snow is, that he's.
He's dead, but alive, but spoilers.
Well, if you
What?
haven't seen it by now, then fuck off. But it's the fact that it's Daenerys's nephew. If you haven't
Yeah.
come to it by now, it's like, come on. He's obviously a Targaryen bastard, but yeah, I mean, just the dialogue alone, I'd have to say it's far superior than like the rest of the series. But each episode like brings its own like merit to the entire show,
Yeah.
all the way up until the final season, and then I don't know, it just kind of went to shit.
Well, my main gripe about the original Game of Thrones here is I think it was like when did the Red Wedding happen? Season 4 whenever. Anyway, point is it originates with the Red Wedding because that's where they diverted from the books quite heavily in my opinion where oh boy, what were their names? The Starks. There we go.
Yeah.
Um, Lady Stark, whatever her name is. Anyway,
Uh,
yeah, she's dead. And in the books, she comes back as actually a pretty key figure. And they don't do any of that in the show. And I was like, wait a minute. But no, the annoying part is we have all the other characters that would be around her, like the Lord of Light or whatever, the one-eyed dude who lives in a cave in the forest or whatever. He's
Yeah.
there, and he's who saved Lady Stark. And why is she not in it? Because I guess she had other things to do, and her agent moved on in life. I guess I don't really know why they wrote her out, but it was like that was a really great reveal that would have been excellent for the show, but nope.
Mm.
I think it was too convoluted. A little bit too hard to pull off.
In what
Oh, we're gonna
way?
kill off the character and then we're gonna bring her back. I think they
Uh,
try to dumb it down a little bit
hold
for
on. We're gonna kill
viewers.
off a character and then bring them back. I'd like to buy Jon Snow for 500, please, Alex.
Yeah, but I think by that point they had enough velocity, a little bit more momentum, where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill off Jon Snow, and maybe we can argue about like sexist standpoints and shit like that, where it's like, oh, it's much easier to kill off a man than it is a woman. Who knows? It's
I I have no idea, but they really wouldn't have had to have done much because she's apparently not actually seen in the books. She's just like a figure in a bunch of robes because she's basically a zombie that nobody wants to look at. So I mean, all you have to do is just like put her in robes and hide her face, and it's like, okay,
I,
that's her.
I'm
Like,
sorry, she's like a zombie,
yeah, in the books, she's like this revived corpse, basically. Like, she doesn't
and
talk.
she has significant impact on the story.
Yeah, she was like
Okay.
leading the group of like forest people. Um, I can't quite remember a whole lot of that. I read those books back in high school, and I'm probably never gonna finish the series at this point. But
I mean,
yeah, she
as
was
George
like
R. R.
this.
Martin ever does.
Yeah, she was like this zombie character that just like lived out in the woods with a bunch of village people.
The village people.
Almost, pretty much, yeah. Oh, and Ed Sheeran. No, wait, he was part of the Lannister army, I guess. But yeah, that was a very crucial figure that just sort of disappeared.
Ah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I got into Game of Thrones, or not really got into it, but watched enough of it because it's like, ooh, I love Peter Dinklage. And also the bloopers for Game of Thrones are hilarious. So,
Yes.
So
Yes.
what was that movie with Peter Dinklage where he did trains,
Oh
where he
man.
was
the
like a
station agent.
yeah, that was a really good movie. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I
granted,
love.
it's like a story about nothing and it goes nowhere, and it's
It's it's it's like a Jim Jarmusch movie, or I guess kind of like maybe like Sling Blade to me. I don't.
yeah.
Okay, maybe a little more dramatic in those cases, but still, it's like, um, what was that? I haven't seen this movie yet, but Patterson. It's a Jim Jarmusch movie, and it's basically about a guy who drives a bus and writes poetry. That's it.
Okay, that's real riveting. It's
Oh, bite me. It's enjoyable. Or I would think it's enjoyable. I haven't seen it. But the station agent, no, the station agent is a really, I really enjoyed that movie.
So did I. But I think it's mostly just based off of like Peter Dinklage's performance throughout the entire thing. I mean, the plot sucks. The storyline sucks.
but it's got Peter
There's not a lot
Dinklage.
But
there.
Everything.
I
There's a
think,
lot.
So what you're saying is
Everything.
yeah, I
everything
mean,
about that movie falls a little short.
ouch.
Except for
I'd
Peter
like to give Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage your address. Um, I mean, yeah, there's not much to the storyline, but I mean,
I just thought it was like an overall
it's
well-performed film.
it's not it's not a plot centric movie. It's about the characters. It's like, I mean, yeah, you have Peter Dinklage where it's like, why do people keep messing with me? Why do they keep staring at me? Yes, I get it. I'm a midget. He's like, he gets drunk and he stands up in the bar and he's like, take a look at me. Um, and then I cannot remember the actress's name, but the one who nearly runs him over. Uh, she has her own problems. You have the food truck guy who's lonely. I mean, it's more about people who just have their own problems and they have their own little community. So that's what I like about it. Everybody still there?
What?
What?
Michelle Williams.
No, the other actress.
Patricia Clarkson?
Was that who it was? Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. And then Bobby Cannavale. He was the guy who like did the ice cream truck or whatever that was. The Roach Coach.
The Roach, is that what they call it? The Roach Coach?
No, that's what I call it. It's a food truck.
Yeah, that guy. So, I mean, Stuart, have you seen it?
I have not.
I'd say watch it. It's an enjoy. Like, even if you find there is no plot to the movie, I still think it's worth watching.
The station agent?
Yeah, it's about a little person who likes trains. And then has no friends, and then makes friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Thomas the Tank
much what it's
Engine.
about.
No, not Thomas. Thomas the Tank. Stuart.
Oh god, that voice. Okay, so nice transition here. I watched Legally Blonde last night for the first time.
Right.
And before I get into that, I just want to say that if you Google Legally Blonde, there's a cool little Easter egg where there's like a pink purse up in the corner, and if you click on that, it turns all the hyperlinks to pink. Anyway, yes, Legally Blonde. While there was singing, apparently I am growing up and enjoying musicals a bit more.
Wait, hold the phone. Hold the phone. I'm kidding, go on.
Yes. Hairspray and Legally Blonde are some great films out there. I feel like we've talked about Legally Blonde a lot in film school, so to actually see it...
Yeah, screenwriting.
Yeah.
That was the weird thing.
But anyway, it was great. All the little like, oh, you think I'm blonde, but ha ha ha, I'm smarter than you moments. Where I think my favorite one was when the guy, sort of like that loser character who's super smart, was trying to like hit on the girls, and they're like, ew, why would we ever go out with you? And then, what's her name? Anyway, the main character comes up to him and is like, "Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me last night? Like, you're so pathetic." And then like slaps him and walks off. And then they're like, "Oh, actually, you're kind of cute." Like, just how she basically made friends with all the like nobody throwaway characters, basically, so they all come to like save the day, pretty much. Is pretty good. I like that. Yeah, it was very good. Very good. And apparently there's a Legally Blonde 3 that supposedly, according to the internet, from what I could see, came out in May of this year, but I don't know.
Wait, who was in Legally Blonde 2?
No idea.
I'm thinking... Yeah, that's right.
But I would like to see the sequel, which apparently was pretty decent. It wasn't critically acclaimed, but box office would say otherwise, it seems. So.
What'd you say?
Hello?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I would like to see the sequel. Apparently it was not critically acclaimed, but the box office would say otherwise.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. I
Anywho,
thought for a moment you said something like, but Bob's office. It's like, what?
Speaking of Bob's, there's a Bob's Burgers movie, isn't there?
Yeah, uh-huh.
I don't know how I feel about
Bits and
that.
pieces.
What was that?
Said I've seen bits and pieces.
Mm.
Actually, I missed it because I was in the middle of doing a podcast with, a couple of douchebags.
Well, you better go up and beat up those douchebags, Landon.
Well, the next time one comes to town, I got a fisticuff with his name on it.
A what?
A fisticuff.
Ouch.
You know what a fisticuff is?
Refresh my memory.
All right, you know like the old-fashioned movies where like the Irish guys they're fighting a certain way, where they have their elbows bent and their fists up and they're kind of like prancing around each other.
Oh, yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Ah, okay, I gotcha.
For those who still can't picture it, think of the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes.
Just something a little more comical than that.
Yeah.
That's probably how it's gonna go when Landon meets up with this guy.
But anyway, Legally Blonde, excellent. Very good. Glad I saw it. What?
I said I'm sad you like it.
Sag.
But
I thought it was a trash movie. I don't know why, but oh yeah, that's it. It's got Reese Witherspoon.
And
Just drives me nuts. I do not like the way she looks for some reason.
wow. Okay.
Like I want to put an ice pack on her forehead every time I see her on the screen. It's like, come here, you're swelling. You have a fever or something. Calm down.
What?
I mean,
She has a huge head.
You mean she has a 5 head?
Oh. Okay, so I should
say 6.
What?
Be a 6.
No, benign, 9.5.
Wow.
It's like she has a brain tumor.
Jesus!
Wow.
I think that has to be the most vicious attack on a celebrity, worse than my hatred towards.
That is holy crap.
I didn't say I was a nice person ever.
Point taken.
Oh my god, that's worse than my mockery of Matthew McConaughey.
Mockery of what?
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Oh man. Anyway, other things I've been watching: Netflix's Arcane, League of Legends. I don't know why I avoided it for so long because actually the animation is excellent. It's very reminiscent of Borderlands games, if anyone's familiar with those, but not nearly as outlined. But there's just something about it that's like, wow, it's so good. It's like 2.5D animation basically, where it looks painted, but then it moves, so it's kind of cool. Also, the opening song is Imagine Dragons, and yeah, I'm a sucker for them, so there's that. It's pretty good. Only seen the first episode. It's a lot longer than I expected it to be. Like each episode is kind of long, but yeah, for anyone who's ever heard of League of Legends, I don't blame you if you avoid the show. just because like, oh, League of Legends, it's a piece of shit. Uh, one of the most toxic communities that's actually accurate in how toxic it is. But yeah, it's good show, very good show. Um,
Good show.
I don't think many other similar games could get away with something like this because I've purposefully been avoiding it, and now that I'm like excited about it, I kind of want to still avoid any like news about it because I have a theory that it's the origin story of the character Jinx. Um, just based off of what I've seen in the first episode with one of the characters. I think her name at this time is Powder. Um, but I've only played League of Legends a little tiny bit, and I hated it just as much as the next person. So, um, yeah, it's interesting that they've done this, but it's a good show. So, it only just barely makes me want to play their game again. um, the other thing I've been watching is my favorite little secret little show that I think I discovered when I was living at Naismith. It was on like the Bravo network at the time. It's called like Life Below Deck or something like that, but now
Oh,
it's
brother.
on Peacock. I think you know what I'm talking about, Joe.
Are
Where
you talking about the same thing I'm thinking of?
yeah, probably.
I hope not.
Now it's on Peacock, and they're on like season 7, I think it said, and it's like Below Deck Down Under. It's this wonderful reality TV that is just utter garbage. It's worse than trash. I don't even know what to call it, but it's so wonderfully stupid that like it looks like the easiest job in the world to just drive a fucking mega yacht, serve some guests for 3 days, and make like $1,000 in less than a week. And people still are like absolute drama queens, and they're like, "Oh, I can't do this. It's too hard." Ah, and it's just like so ridiculous to watch. I'm only on like the third episode now, and um, yeah, like the first 2 episodes were like an okay group of people that just kind of kept to themselves, didn't really interact with the crew very much, except at meals. They have a very chefy chef, as they put it, where it's like, oh, do you throw little tantrums and stuff? And they're like, oh, yeah, definitely. And um, apparently the next episode is like, oh, our yacht's being rented out by, like, the world's most recognized porn stars or something. So it's like, wow, what a show! Like this has been greenlit how many years now? It's just like, why is this a thing?
I honestly never expected this to come out of Stuart's mouth.
Oh, I have loved how stupid this show is since the moment I watched the whatever episode I did, but it's because it's kind of cool. Like, you gotta admit, watching it, I mostly like watching it for like, whoa, there's a cool place I want to go visit. I don't really pay attention to the people in front of the camera. I'm like, wow, that's a nice boat, or like, that's a nice like beach, or like, wow, look at that landscape. And then I'm like, oh yeah, there's fucking stupid people doing stupid shit. Like,
Okay, you see, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because you're like a background, not a foreground person.
yeah, I'm mostly
It
just
could be the worst movie, and it's like, oh, look how realistic the grass. That's like, Stuart, the movie's crap. Yeah, but the grass, it's so realistic.
yeah.
It's so scientifically accurate.
Yes. God. Well, speaking of which, you know that was the like background to the little Pixar short Piper, where somebody wanted to just experiment with water mechanics, and thus that little Sandpiper short was born.
I don't remember that one.
Oh man, that one I think actually won a couple of Oscars that year. Piper. It's like a little sandpiper, and it meets like a little hermit crab, and it's just running around on the beach. And I'm describing it really lame, but
I mean,
when did this come out?
I got
2016.
2016. Okay, so I really guess I haven't been paying attention to a whole lot of like
Wow, it's
old short films.
surprisingly well rated. 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb and 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's a short. Like, and yet.
Well, but think how though some of these short films rank alongside like longer like 2 hour, 3 hour movies. Like um, I can't remember the name of that one, but it's the the short film where the old guy plays chess against himself.
Oh, yeah, that was classic. And fun fact, he showed
Yeah,
up in Toy Story 2 as Woody's repair guy. I know
yeah,
that
that's
one.
right.
What is that
Yeah,
one called? Pixar chess short. Gary's Game, spelled Geri.
okay, yeah.
Gary, one of the two. Yeah,
I don't know,
I can
but
remember
yeah,
as a kid watching that, and like my mind could not like comprehend that it was the same guy because of like how
I
it was cutting
know.
back and forth. I remember being so confused as a kid watching that, being like, "Wait, that's not the same guy." My dad's like, "Yes, it is," and I'm like, "No, it's not. He's this other guy's got glasses and dentures," and and then they finally
It's
like
not just
zoom
that.
out,
It's like just like his
like his
how he
yeah, his
his
mannerisms
posture.
and stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was excellent though. It was excellent.
Yeah, no, I remember um the VHS we had to A Bug's Life,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the short film that showed before the
Yep,
movie was
I a
that.
100% have that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah, no, that was definitely so yeah, like you said, mind
Oh
blowing.
my
Also,
god.
I loved how he like the other guy, quote unquote, the other guy, fakes a heart attack.
Wait, okay, I never put this together, but I just read a review where somebody's like named the two Jerrys as red and yellow, and I never paid. It's funny you just mentioned that I pay attention to the backgrounds all the time. This is probably the one time I only paid attention to the foreground. The trees are red and yellow depending on who you're looking at, and the lighting is different too. So it's like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Wow.
Who is the
Memories.
protagonist in Jerry's Game?
Want to go back and watch this now.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it, Landon?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Uh, um, let's see. Um, I haven't been watching any movies recently because of yeah, whatever. Um, I guess. Oh wait, yeah. No, my coworker took me to see this little French movie, like an hour and what, 15 minutes or something. Not a very long movie called Le Petit Maman or Petite Maman. Never mind. Little French film. Well, nice French film.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Fun fact, I guess Pixar is no longer doing their short films in front of a feature these days. I guess Toy Story 4, back in 2019, was the first one to be released without a short in front of it.
really?
Yeah.
Hmm. I didn't think about that.
Wow, that's interesting.
I mean, but I don't even remember. Short film with the other three. Do you?
Short film with the other three, what?
Toy Stories.
Yeah, I definitely 100% remember the first one. It was the little tin soldier that like hides under the couch from the little kid or something like that. Tin soldier Pixar. Tin toy, that's what it was called. And then like the slobbering baby or whatever. Ugh,
You see,
God, that baby was hideous. Jesus Christ. Now I'm seeing it again. That was the ugliest animated baby I think I've ever seen to date. It's so just gross. It's just bringing back so many repressed memories. It's
That's saying something
disgusting to
scary.
look at. It's just like, this is not a human child.
Care to share, Stu?
Oh God, let me post this one because wow, was it ugly. I mean, if an actual baby came out looking like this, I'd be like, for the love of God, put it back. It's clearly not done yet.
Ouch.
It's so
Poor Haley.
ugly. Oh God. Oh God, it's so bad.
That's terrible. That is.
I told you.
This is. What the? This is scary.
Yeah, that thing haunts my memories still. Oh, apparently there's a Moana 2?
What?
The Sea of Darkness. Okay.
Are we gonna be subjected to Dwayne Johnson singing again?
It looks like he's already released the music video from what I'm looking at. It's projected to be released June 21st of next year. Is Moana dead? Wait.
Ouch.
Wait. Oh my God, apparently she was killed. Okay, so Moana actually died in the storm at the beginning of the movie. Maui is her guardian angel, who was tasked to take her to Te Fiti, which stands for heaven in the movie. The whole movie was about her journey to the afterlife.
The first one?
Apparently, yeah.
Huh.
Remember she was like underwater, whatever?
No, because I did not see the movie.
Get with the fucking program, Joe. You're the one who was all breaking my balls like all throughout college. Like, you haven't seen Jaws? You haven't seen like blah blah blah?
I haven't seen what and what.
You haven't
Sounds
seen...
like you got something in your microphone there.
Oh, wonderful. Does that sound any better? Does this sound more quality? Hello? Are we having audio issues yet again?
Well, now I can understand you.
Oh, great. Probably because I had my phone right next to the microphone. It tends to do that.
Can't process what you're saying.
Okay, so anyway, I busted your balls for not seeing like Jaws, which is a classic.
Yeah, like all the classics.
Excuse me for not seeing Moana, which was a kid's movie.
Yeah, but it's a Disney movie. Every Disney movie is a classic, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh. The fucking pie hole, Stuart. Not every Disney movie is a classic.
I don't even.
All right, name a movie that
Yeah.
will probably
Like
make me
like I
agree with
said,
that statement.
I don't know. I miss the days where when a Disney movie opened, it's like Walt Disney Pictures proudly presents.
Yeah.
Now it's just a Disney picture or something like that. It's like, wow, that's, you know, pride in your work.
The equivalent of
Though.
the equivalent of rolling out the red carpet to fanfare, just morphing into a dog taking a shit on your neighbor's lawn.
And then you have Divine walking up behind. And John Waters is holding the camera.
Yeah.
I still say that Moana is a good film. You should watch it.
It was
Okay.
great, yeah.
Well, maybe I will watch it. I mean,
Say that it's like
I crap on Dwayne Johnson singing, but I actually enjoyed him singing.
It is very good. And also Shiny was a great song in there too.
Yeah, that's actually the guy who's from what is that? Flight of the Concords? Jerome or something along those lines. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It also
I
did
mean,
What We Do in the Shadows.
Ooh, okay, yes.
still have to watch that movie.
That's a great movie. I have not
Yeah.
seen the series, but the movie's awesome.
Wait,
I was
there's
Yeah.
a movie of it?
Yeah, it was originally a movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm only
It's
aware
like
of the
What
series.
We Do in the Shadows, yeah, it was a movie, then it was now it's a show on FXX.
Or
Yeah.
Hulu because they own FX X X X X
Well,
X
whatever.
X X
I don't know, some of
X.
this stuff shut up. Some of the stuff I've seen like bits of the show and it's actually funny.
Oh yeah, my roommate has Hulu, and I got to watch the first episode. It's pretty good with like the lackey, the toady of like the main guy who's like, well, I've been his manservant for over 20 years, and today is is the anniversary of the 20th anniversary of my servitude for him, and I think today he's gonna make me a vampire. And then he just presents him with like a bedazzled painting.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Yeah, definitely gonna watch the movie. I have it saved on Canopy, you know.
Ooh, it's on
When I
Canopy.
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
when I
actually, it's on Canopy when I watched it.
oh yeah.
Dang.
No, I mean I got Canopy. Well, Stuart knows this. I got Canopy through the Kearney Public Library.
Yeah, I guess the Lawrence Public Library also has a subscription to it that anyone can use. So
Yeah, you
that is
just
good.
have to be a patron of the public library. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we were at KU, you could get like Canopy Unlimited. Like you
oh
watch,
yeah,
and now like through the public library, it's like you can watch 10 things a month or
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
same thing here. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess just my time in college, I only knew Canopy as just like finding the most obscure, boring movies. But they seem to branch
For a
out. Like,
class.
yeah, they seem to finally branch out my last year at KU. So it's like I might look into this further, but it seems like every year they keep getting better and better. So I'll probably get
Yeah.
back into it. But God, I remember it going to KU. It was like, what even is this? Like we're watching some fucking French film from like the 1970s that has like no audio, and it's just like I don't know, just a French film in general.
I
But
think I think Canopy was yeah, Canopy was where I watched Hard Day's Night.
oh yeah, okay, that was good. It definitely helps you find the like lost films that are like just obscure for whatever reason, but
Oh
um
yeah.
like Bicycle Thieves or something like that.
Oh, yeah, bicycle. That's
I never
good
watched
one.
that one for some reason.
It is. It's really a great movie.
Is it just as great as 8.5?
But
It's
no,
better than 8.5. And I mean, I watched. Let's see. I watched the first part of 8.5 twice, and then I watched the whole 8.5 one time.
I just remembered
Cause
the
yeah,
the film I was shitting on, La Jetée or The Jetty. Do you guys remember that one? It was like it was all just like still photos, but it was telling a story of like someone who was kidnapped and brainwashed or some shit.
no.
no, I
Okay,
don't know
good.
what class you saw that in.
Probably
Right.
200.
I was in that class and I don't remember that.
I have to find this real quick. Yes, La Jetée. It's
Yeah,
a
I took 200 back in like
1962
2004.
1962 French sci-fi featurette associated with the left bank artistic movement. I don't even want to know what that
I haven't even
is.
heard about them.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it was basically so the left bank and the right bank. So the right bank had, Jean-Luc Godard and all the movie crazed, financially stable people, whereas the left bank was just a bunch of fucking like artsy people that didn't know how to make a movie, I guess.
who didn't know how to make a movie?
Yeah, it tells the story of a post-nuclear war experiment in time travel, and it was just bonkers. Like,
Uh,
I don't. Wow, the
hmm.
1995 sci fi film 12 Monkeys was inspired by and borrows several concepts directly from La Jetée.
Oh, maybe I have heard of that film.
I did like 12 Monkeys.
I haven't seen 12 Monkeys. What?
Good movie. Watch it.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure to watch it. Oh,
Especially if it has to do with Lago Ennui.
has to go with what?
Le Jeu pour toi, whatever the fuck you guys were talking about with
La Jetée.
Le Jetty. Oh, the
The
jetty. Yeah. Le
Oh,
Jetty.
yeah, so the whole conclusion is that basically a guy witnesses his own death.
ouch.
Actually, Le Jetty goes with Lago Ennui. Interesting. Hmm.
It was just weird, but for some reason, I guess it was good enough that it stuck with me, or maybe the fact that I had to watch it multiple times throughout college because I know that in one class we watched it, and later on in another one we watched it again.
Kind of reminds me of your mom's porn.
Ew.
I watched that repeatedly throughout college too.
Uh.
Ah.
Okay.
A joke I
Well,
keep
I think that's Landon wanting to wrap us up for the night.
Yeah. I still gotta tuck the kids in and cry myself to sleep, and
Uh, hmm.
yeah, maybe dinner's in the fold.
Jeez, this
That'd
is
Mm.
be
a true European dinner right there.
yeah, no. I haven't made
They
time to eat.
they cry before they have dinner?
I cry before dinner. Yeah.
Okay.
You're just weeping with how beautiful the food is.
Actually, the food is pretty beautiful, but it's for tomorrow. So I've been I made a hatch chile verde,
Ooh.
and it's been stewing for like 4 hours now, and and I can smell it in my room with the door closed, and I'm just like, God damn it, I'm fucking hungry. And yeah, maybe I'll sneak a bite.
Hey, I mean, the chef has to taste their own mess eventually.
Their
Yeah,
own mess.
yeah. Usually, I like to make sure everybody else tastes it first. That way, I know it's not poisoned. But
You made it.
Hmm. Landon, do you remember what you were doing while you were cooking?
yeah, I do. But I also married a Sicilian, and I know that true Sicilian nature. If she wanted the divorce, they have what's called the Sicilian divorce. And what better way to knock somebody off than have them taste their own cooking? Because when they die, nobody else is gonna eat it.
Oh.
So if I don't eat it first,
Oh boy.
I'm in the
Oh
clear,
man.
right?
Have you watched James May, Our Man in Italy yet?
No, not yet.
It's pretty good. Apparently, he complains a lot throughout every episode of getting bombarded by like just nice people throughout Italy, including Sicily, that want to like feed everyone.
Yeah,
Have,
yeah,
have,
that
have
is
you
the
met
habit.
have you met any nice people from Sicily, Landon?
I've never been.
Or
Hmm.
what about your in-laws?
Well, my mother-in-law is from Sicily, but I've never been to Sicily, so I've never met anybody nice from Sicily. So you see how I'm like tiptoeing around that?
Yeah, I was thinking, you're like the guy, like, there's a mine right there. Be careful of the minefield.
Meanwhile, I just
Yep.
blatantly run through it like, hey, look at me!
I did meet somebody nice, and then it turned out that yeah, I kind of crossed them at some point. I don't know exactly how, but I mean, yeah, oh, what's the joke about Sicilian Alzheimer's? The what? Yeah, like the memory of how it happened has faded, but the grudge still remains, or some shit like that.
You stop talking with your hands or something.
I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong, but apparently I did something wrong.
Mm,
She's still
maybe
civil and nice to me, but I know that she's not affectionate towards me anymore.
maybe it's like you didn't do anything like refuse to eat her meatballs.
I've never refused a meatball from her. The
Mm,
Sicilian meatballs are the best.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a short film I watched to get. Um, it had to do with the funding Stuart and I are trying to get.
Mm.
And one of the short films that I had won some of the funding was called Sunday Dinner, and it's about this guy who's part of a Italian American family, and they meet for their Sunday meatball supper, and he refuses to eat the meatballs because he's vegan.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's okay. They'll cook lamb. That's from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where it's like, you don't eat meat. That's all right. We cook lamb.
Kelsey brought up that movie yesterday, and it's like if I've ever seen that movie, it's been years since I've seen it.
Was
Yeah,
that an
Probably
Adam
back when it was
Sandler one?
on VHS. No, no,
it's a
it's not
good
Adam
movie.
Sandler.
No, it wasn't Adam Sandler. It was some broad.
Okay.
Some broad.
Yeah, you know the dame with the nose.
Yeah, the Dane with the nose.
And it had
Big
the
nose.
dude guy,
Nose like
the
a
dude
parrot.
guy with the locks. It's a good movie.
A good movie.
Yeah, but
That fraud.
I can't say I recognize anyone from the movie. I guess Rita
Joey
Wilson's in it.
Fatone.
Yeah, but I don't
Joey
really know what
Fatone.
he's been in.
I mean, you've seen Impractical Jokers, Stuart.
Wait, he's part of NSYNC?
He's in that show.
Wait, that's...
I mean, he makes guest appearances. He's not like the main cast, but still.
Okay, that's... Then no.
Anywho.
well, anyways, I gotta beat my kids into submission, scream at them to go to bed, horribly traumatize them.
Anything
and,
else?
yeah,
Random with a poker.
more, but you know, I am on a microphone, so
Oh. Yeah, and this does eventually go out into public, right?
it does. So,
But, you know,
Keyword
as long as
there
it
is
takes
eventually,
Stuart to
when I get
upload
around
these,
to
you
it.
know, it might take a while.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I also gotta like beat my wife
Oh
and
my god. Just classic
I don't know.
Italian things, right?
yeah. I mean, I gotta
Italian, I thought it sounded Irish there for a second.
give my wife 5 across the eyes. It's
Oh my god.
just a regular Saturday night here at the Whole House. Yeah.
Just wait till some feminist listens to this and like, oh, this terrible person.
Oh,
Joe-
by the way,
Joe,
I'm
that's
joking.
assuming that anyone listens to this. You're giving the podcast way more credit than it will ever get.
I mean, is that such a bad thing to have high hopes for this podcast? I mean,
We get flagged for abusive content with Landon's audio. My YouTube channel gets shut down because of it.
great. We're
so
gonna be the next like
realistically-
Hollywood story right
The
now.
next YouTube scandal.
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay, so realistically, I have to get my kids into bed, and then I have to cuddle with my wife while we watch, like, either a show or a movie. Probably Game of Thrones tonight. That's what we're looking at. Game of Thrones. And then after that, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna listen to her snore until I fall asleep. I hope the feminists are happy. I hope the sexists are happy. I hope everybody's fucking happy. Because I'm not getting any poontang tonight. Nothing special is happening. I'm putting my kids to bed. I'm watching a show with my wife. And then I'm gonna fucking fall asleep and just wish that I was dead.
Okay.
No, that's a little extreme. I'm not gonna wish that I was dead.
Just that part.
I can't even give a good message. I always ruin it.
Oh, I thought that part about listening to your wife snore so you fall asleep was pretty good.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna wish that I was dead. Not suicidal.
Just a little
That's good. We
homicidal.
love you, Landon.
Oh, I love you too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I gotta go. I gotta put the kids to bed. That's my priority. That needs to happen. I'm gonna leave.
Sounds good. I'll see you
Because
guys
I'm
next
a
week.
father, God damn it.
Oh,
All right, night.
Good night.
good night.
Oh, you're still here, Joe?
Oh, shut up.